Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and we have a very interesting comparison for you fine folks today. Mike Mentzer versus Bertil Fox. I never would have come up with this. Both of these guys, they were uncrowned Mr. Olympia champions. Why have I never done a Mike Mentzer versus Bertil Fox comparison before? Both of these guys took fifth place at the Olympia, 1980 for Mentzer, 83 for Bertil Fox. So without further ado, begin with a front double biceps pose. This should be a pretty close one, all things considered. Now, we don't have all the footage from 1980 or 1983 for Fox, 80 for Mentzer. So we do our best here at Mark's Max Muscle. I'm surprised, to be honest with you, Diane. I believe the upper body for Mike Mentzer to be better. Maybe not arm for arm. You can't really see that too good for this picture of Bertil Fox, but look at the physique of Mentzer. That V-taper, lats, midsection. Bertil, he needs to open up. You see what you do there? You hide away when you pause. But one thing that really shocks me, that Bertil Fox has an edge in the wheel department. Calves and quads. Bertil Fox did not have small wheels. He used to squat quite a bit of weight. I don't know if he was going down all the way or not, though. I don't want to question the guy. Now here is a couple of other shots. This is in fact from 1983 for Fox. And Mentzer, he looks pretty good here. I think this was 78. Look at the arms on him. He is able to do battle with Bertil Fox in the front double biceps pose, and I am, like I mentioned earlier, I said Diane. If you don't know what that means, well, it makes two of us, because I don't either. He actually is matching Bertil Fox in the arm department. And the V-taper, things of that nature. Mentzer, he's awesome. So, close matchup, guys. Now go to the front lat spread. And I can hear you guys now. But Mark's Max mayonnaise, these Mike Mentzer pictures are terrible. Hey, I'll agree. But they are the best ones that I can find in certain poses. The front double was actually a pretty good pose for Mentzer. Wasn't 1980, where he placed fifth, but still looked pretty good. And I'll admit, the front lat spread, it does suck, this picture of Mentzer. But I looked through his repertoire, watched video footage, things of that nature, and I think it is a safe bet that says Bertil Fox would actually smoke him. Smoke him, I says, in the front lat spread. It's actually a very underrated pose for Mr. Fox. Good condition, too, here in 1983. Wow. Go to the side, turn to the side. An excellent pose for both gentlemen. Side chest, for sure, a good Mike Mentzer pose. And I mean, Bertil Fox. Look at those arms. It's almost as if you could not get those any bigger. They're just as big or larger than a modern day competitors. And Mentzer, these guys were mass monsters before I think that term even existed. These guys were the biggest, most muscular dudes around. Well, there was other guys, too, that don't get the notoriety. Lance Dreher. Lance Dreher was a big mass monster. Nobody talks about Lance Dreher. But anyway, don't get me going. I'd probably lean towards Bertil Fox, just because of the mounds upon mounds of muscle. Now, the side tricep, you guys have every right to holler at me about this one. Mark's Max Muscle, this picture of Mentzer sucks. Why do you use it? Well, he has a good shape. Nice overall shape. Let's let Mike use this here pose. It's like a mantis pose, kind of. It's from 1980. And you guys can clearly see he is shredded to the diced. Every inch a bodybuilder. Every inch a muscle man. That's what they used to say at the World's Strongest Man competitions. The guy had a good physique. Things of that nature. But if you're going to judge this one as a side tricep, I do not see too many people at all back then, nobody would be defeating Bertil Fox. So this matchup, it might not be going the way that you Mentzerites thought it would. But we're not done yet. Go to the back double biceps. But before I begin, have you guys ever seen this movie, this docudrama, Pumping Iron? There is this scene where Arnold, he had these models draped all over him, and he was in a photo shoot, things of that nature, and he had one of those bull workers or exercisers, the bending ones with the springs on it. Joe Weider wanted him to bend it, but he pretended that he couldn't bend it. Arnold. You guys see that scene? That was terrible. And then he gives it like I assume it was a karate chop. He chops it, and then he can bend it. That was such a lame joke, Arnold. Bend the exerciser. Come on, Arnold. We're making a movie here. But anyway, yes. Pretty close in the rear double biceps. I'm sorry, guys. But I've been looking to call out Arnold for that lame joke for years now. And the girl says, too, before he karate chopped it, I thought you were strong. And he says, don't worry. That was actually pretty funny. Don't worry. And then he karate chops it and bends it. Look at those arms on Bertil. Mike Mentzer, not without his charms either. Condition-wise, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. With pictures like these, you can't really tell. We are safe to assume that it's similar, I guess. Mentzerites are going to say for sure. Mentzer was too peeled. Hard to suggest. Now for the rear lat spread, I have to warn you guys. I made a video one time, I believe it was the worst execution of the mandatory poses. I had to have put this picture of Bertil Fox in there. This is the worst rear lat spread that I've ever seen, but at no fault of his physique, I think. It's just he's flexing like a most muscular. And for those of you at home, would-be young bodybuilders that don't know how to pose yet, nobody's teaching you guys how to pose. For the back shots, you don't really have to flex. It's more of opening up, showing them who you are. The muscles will do the rest. But I think in this situation, he's trying to flex the traps, but it's just not working out. He's getting a kink. So Mentzer absolutely wins this rear lat spread, and thus keeps this matchup alive. Still pretty close, hadn't it? Here's the abs and thigh, and look at Mentzer. This is a sobering picture. He must have been just loving life, out on the beach, sun, just baking him, making him a nice rouge. People walking by, pointing, suggesting that this guy's the most built man that they've ever seen in their life. Fantastic. Fantastic. But look at Bertil Fox. He's pretty darn good, too. Good shape. Good overall shape. Couldn't get a good on-stage picture of Mentzer hitting the abs and thigh. And I know, you geniosos, you bodybuilding nerds like me, you guys know that there is one here from 1980. Kinda tilted to the side, though. Isn't it? It's not hadn't it. I'm sorry, guys. I was raised in a household where they said hadn't it instead of isn't it. Of course, that's nor here nor there. Now, in my opinion, from all of the footage that I've seen from 1980 of Mentzer, and in my mind, that is what I am using. I'm going to do like a fictitious comparison in my mind, both of them at their best. I'm going to fill in the blanks here and there. He is shredded. Little bit more shredded to the dice than Bertil. But Bertil, he has the edge in muscle and even the overall shape. I would suggest, especially in the abs and thigh. I mean, this is a thing of beauty. Just like what Mickey said about Rocky's statue. It's a thing of beauty, Rock. It's a pretty good statue, to be honest with you. And so is Bertil Fox's abs and thigh. Now, the most muscular, take it for what it is. Of course, it was not a mandatory pose for either guy. Wasn't a mandatory shot until 2004, if I'm not mistaken. And speaking of the unveiling of that Rocky statue. That is when Mr. T, he made his presence felt. He was hitting on Adrian. You guys remember that? Adrian, I bet you sit at home dreaming about having a real man, he says. Suggests that Rocky's not a real man. Of course she does. Rocky keeps her up all night, practicing her doo-doo-do-doos, for goodness sakes. No good. Bertil, I think he would win the most muscular, even though Mentzer was no slouch at all. It's just that his strong poses are also good shots for Bertil Fox. And, ooh, what a good way to end this one. These guys were mass monsters, muscle-bound super freaks of their time. Just like the song says. Super freak, super freak, super freak. So who wins this one? Obviously, Mentzerites. They are going to suggest Mike Mentzer's going to win. And is there Foxites? Bertil Fox? After what he did, he may have lost a few fans. But I mean, he's out now. He got out. So maybe he didn't do anything that was as bad as people thought, but we don't need to get into that right now. That's a little bit too heavy for my channel. We're here for just a little light fiasco. We don't need to deal with any of that type of thickness. Anyway, I have Bertil Fox winning. Not clearly, mind you. If you think that he was destroying Mentzer, go look at that front double. That physique of Mentzer was awesome. Also, if you imagine him, all these pictures from 1980, then yeah, it would have been closer. But I still think Bertil Fox had the edge in muscle. He was a muscle-bound man. Have a great one, folks.